Good morning. Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in my videos or live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Good morning. Happy Friday. Oh my goodness, what a week. It's been a glorious week, but a busy week and a lot going on. A lot going on for me anyway. Good to see everyone. Come on in, make yourself comfortable. Ask the medium session today. I will talk just for a moment about the energy that's kind of floating around. 'Cause I think it's important just to touch base with you guys on the energy and perhaps give you guys some tips on how you can kind of manage the energy that's flowing around. Um, who's fighting exhaustion, who's feeling it, who, even though you may be sleeping decently, who's running out of steam around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The energy that's collective has been, quite elevated. Perhaps you're not, yeah, there's Aaron, I am. Perhaps you're, restless dreams, waking up in the middle of the night, or just running out of steam. Running out of steam mid-afternoon seems to be a thing. I feel it, yeah. A part of it is our physical world. We all have, things going on personally, work lives and family lives and home lives. But there's also a collective piece. People are tired. People are tired with what's happening energetically. People are, I know, frustrated, fearful. That puts out a vibration that we fear, we feel it. Sorry. We feel that collective energy. Many of us do feel it. The higher you are on the empath scale, the more you may be feeling it. So, as you navigate through a lot of this energy, remember you can control how you respond to it. You can give yourself, a break from it. You can hit a pause button, turn off your social medias for a bit, get outside, breathe, read, have a have a nap if you can. You can respond. You can control how we respond to the energy that's floating around. It's quite exhausting. The self-care piece, I know I talk a lot about the self-care piece, but I really feel like if you're struggling with exhaustion, turn up your self-care, disconnect a little bit from the energy that's floating around, and really ground yourself and bubble yourself and protect yourself. All those spiritual practices that I talk about, creating your own, whatever resonates with you. I do feel that the exhaustion is going to be coming up to a higher level of frequency over the next couple days. So if you're feeling that, look after yourself. And if I had to do, I had to turn up that self care this week too. Less time on social media, more time just kind of on my own. A little bit of breathing and meditation. That's what my advice is for the energy for this next couple days, anyway. All right, let's jump into some questions. Good to see all you guys, by the way. That's what she said. Good morning. Thank God it's Friday. I agree. I got a needle in my eye yesterday and I have a lot of bleeding. Sending you some healing love and light there, darling. Look after yourself. Look after that eye. I know that we're all sending you healing love and light and support. I'm assuming that it was a medical needle, not like an accidental needle in your eye, but we're sending you love and light. Bianca, good morning. I recently met a man named Tag, and feel a strong second connection. Any messages from spirit about him? Um, so I feel, Bianca, that when we trust our instincts, people come to us to teach us things, to support us. We come to them to teach us things. I always say, Bianca, to people, trust your intuition, trust that pull. There's something here for you to learn. And I also feel, Bianca, one of the greatest things that I think that you're kind of navigate through is the power now in learning how to trust. Right now, this feels really good. Right now, I'm going to enjoy this, this interaction or this rendezvous with a person. I always trust your intuition. It's our communication line to the spirit dimensions as well, to our higher self. Um, Groggy for a while when I get up, says Tabitha. Yeah, a lot of you are agreeing with that exhaustion energy. Shy, I have two questions that are both animal related. First, who's the cat that I've been seeing in the last couple of days? Second, what did my dog Pup go through as a puppy? We're convinced she's gone through some trauma. Okay. So I feel the cat for me has a different feeling. It doesn't feel like a cat necessarily that you've owned before in the past. I feel that cat more of a spirit guide. We do have, it just feels different. I don't feel that personal relationship from a physical world perspective. I feel it more spiritual. So when I feel that, animals can come as spirit guides. So Shy, I would really kind of tap into what the energy of that cat's trying to teach you, or really thank you for coming. I'm here to learn from you. Puck. So when I tap into Puck, So is Puck, because so I feel is Puck very clingy? I feel like this clingy energy, and I feel like I'm worried about being left alone. I don't feel Puck has huge trauma. I feel it more of perhaps abandonment. Not being, not knowing when I'm going to be, a caregiver, or someone's going to be there for me. I don't feel Puck has huge trauma. I feel it more of like left alone for long periods of time. I'm also curious if you know, maybe you don't know Puck, but I also feel that Puck may have been weaned from mum too soon. Because I just feel that attachment thing, and I feel like perhaps there was, taken away from mum, a couple weeks too, or a week or two too early. But I don't feel shy that there's significant trauma there. Spring, good morning, Lana. Anything from my guides or my family today? I keep seeing a lot of yellow around you, Spring. So I'm curious, Spring, if you've been working with like yellow paint or yellow or like bright yellows, or if sunflowers resonate. I feel like a lot of, and when I see yellow, yellow is a very symbolic color for me when I see it, as the lighter side of things. I feel like you're tapping into more of what's right versus what's wrong. And I feel that, that's kind of like really starting to seep into the people that are around you. We do plant seeds with people through our own reactions and actions, through our own growth. And I feel like I say, and I can see them, they're watching and they're learning from you. And sometimes we wonder if we're making a difference. Well, I see this yellow expanding. You are making a difference. People have got choice and free will, what's going to resonate with them and what's not going to resonate with them. And I feel like you're doing a really good job, not just with your own stuff, but by leading with example. Spring, I feel that you're very much in your own lane, and you're very much doing your own thing. But I also feel like you're leading, and maybe it's, you're not even necessarily um, consciously setting that up. But I feel like people are seeing the change in you, and people are noticing the growth, and people are really like, wow, look at. And I think that some of that is slowly leaking over into them. So well done, you. We are natural teachers, even if we don't necessarily accept the intention to. People will observe that energy, and that energy, is very attracting. Have you ever noticed that people are attracted to the feel good? People are attracted to growth. People are attracted to watching you find your way, and they're like, maybe I can take a step or two, right? It's a natural teaching thing, and I think you're doing a really good job. And I think sometimes, we there may be a little bit of wobble and frustration in that, because sometimes we're like, can't you just see this is the path forward? They are observing, and they are. I also feel that they're proud of you, and maybe they haven't quite said that yet, Spring. But I really feel like, wow, look at mom, look at Spring, look at how well she's doing. Vinny, good morning. Any messages from spirit or my ancestors for me today? Um, Vinny, have you been doing, and I feel it fairly recent, like I feel like in the last week or so, or perhaps in the last couple of weeks or so, Vinny, I feel like you've been lightening up. Like I feel like you've been like letting go and some healing work. And I feel like they need to acknowledge that. Take your time when you're ready. Moving forward, I feel like you've been peeling off some layers there, little bit by little bit, growing forward, healing, and I feel like you're changing things. I feel like you're changing. You're just changing things. You're changing your thoughts. You're changing your reactions. You're changing how you process things. You're changing your viewpoint. It's a lot of rewiring, and I feel like I need to say, good job. Good job, you, Aaron. Not only running out of steam, but I haven't slept well in over a week and a half until last night. Funny you mentioned that, Aaron, because I slept like a rock last night, and I usually don't. Overall, regardless of the energy, I'm a bit of a restless sleeper, I guess is the best way to put it. So I slept really well too last night, Aaron. Interesting. Does my husband have a message for me? I know you know this, Charlor, but I really feel like I need to like microphone it out. You're doing really well here in the physical world. I feel like, as hard as it is to take steps. I feel like you're doing the best that you can, and I feel like he needs to acknowledge that. I know you're doing the best that you can, and it's hard to go forward, but I know you're doing the best that you can. And I feel like, and is I have to say, I'm always walking beside you, and you know how much I love you, and I feel like there's this one step at a time. I'm helping you go forward. I'm helping you go forward. I saw the moon last night. It says west, beautiful. Maruna, Any advice from my guides? Maruna, I feel like I've got to I can see like a workout. I don't know, I can see like a workout. Like I just feel like I'm pumping it up. And I feel it more energetically. I feel like I need to acknowledge the work that you're doing spiritually, the trust that you're doing, the energy work that you're doing, the animal work that you're doing. I feel like I've got to really say you're pumping that up and you're getting stronger. So not quite sure if at one point recently you felt like you weren't making a difference, or if you felt like you weren't doing enough. I feel like I say you're really building that muscle of trust, and good for you. I've also been seeing lots of spiders here. They're scared the crap out of me. I love spiders, even though they don't mean to. Shall I give them a look up? Anything that you think might be a sign, you can look them up. Spiritual meaning of seeing spiders, and see if it resonates there. Miranda, let's need to sip my tea here, darling. I've been struggling to connect with my guides. I'm trying to connect through meditation and talking to them. Who are they and what do they want me to know? Okay, so Miranda, I just want to I'm going to break this down a little bit. First of all, so our spirit guides do change. We can have the same one for a long time, and one or two or three or four may come and go, and they can also shift completely. We can also have new guides come in. I think that you're doing very well with trying to connect through meditation. I feel, and with talking to them, that is a great way. But I also feel I've got to bring some playful energy. I feel like your guides are like wanting you to be more playful. And communicating with our spirit guides, one of the greatest things that they have taught me is to trust. And even I've myself, Miranda, have been like, is there anybody there? Like, I can't, where did everybody go? Right. There are times where I have myself have experienced that it's like, where are they? And when that happens for me, they're teaching me how to level up on my trust salmon bar. The salmon bar going, they're going up in the trust level. I feel actually that they're teaching you more. And this, not sure if you're connecting with them and learning all this, is actually that space of connecting you up. What you can try, Miranda, and this has worked for me as well as many of my students, is and change the wording to what resonates with you. Is I know that you're there and I'm helping, and you're helping me, and I'm grateful. And I just want to talk to you about this. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I just shift into, I know you're there, and this is what I'm sharing with you today, or this is what I would like help with you today, or help with from you today. I'm shifting a little bit of that. I also feel, Miranda, that I need you to say it's okay to try different ways of connecting with them, and always go with what resonates with you. You can light a candle and talk to them. Yeah, I feel like I need something like more of a symbolic. You can have a symbol that grab a necklace, and this is going to represent me connecting to my spirit guides. Play with it and find your own way of navigating through it. Your relationship with your spirit guides is very personal. It's a very personal relationship. So finding your way that works for you and for you. But I feel like your guides are teaching you trust. I know that and trust when you think about it. Think about some of the hard stuff in the physical world, like it's broken a lot. Trust is right up there on the top of the chart, right? We struggle with trust, and I feel like that is something that they're really trying to gift you, is a higher level of trust. When I tap into who your guides are, I'm really hearing the name Ina. Ina. I'm hearing it over and over. And I feel like she came to you very recently, like 3 or 4 months ago is when I'm feeling. And again, she has this very big playful energy, really a self-expression, and she's kind of like, express yourself. So I'm really curious, Miranda, do you tend to hold in a lot of the essence of who you are? Because what she's saying is just express that to me. Express who you are. Shine bright with who you are. I feel that. Now, do you have other guides? Absolutely. Continue being playful with communication with them. I've even written my spirit guides letters. I'm like, all right, you guys, I need to write to you. So whatever works for you, and you can change it at any time, you guys. You can really change how you're working. You can change it up. It doesn't have to be the same way, and it doesn't have to be, how a book may describe it, or how I may work with my guides, or how anybody else works with their guides. Find navigating your own relationship, and I really feel to say, Miranda, you're doing a really good job. You are really doing a good job. This week has been so strange. Been seeing a lot of repeat numbers. The repeat numbers are a beautiful sign. There's usually a similar message with repeat numbers. I always feel, Shannon, when people, you can look them up too with repeat numbers, but I always feel I need to say, okay, what was I doing or thinking when I saw those repeat numbers, and what do I need to hear? And just kind of feel into that as well as looking them up. What do my spirit guides say today? Wes, And I'm reading that. I see that I need that your cute little face. I can see your cute little face, Wes, peeking around new corners, like just kind of peeking out into new ideas, new thoughts, new experiences, new people. I feel like I've got to say, start peeking. Start peeking out, Wes, into maybe shifting your routine up a little bit, maybe something new. I feel I don't know if you've been bored lately, Wes, but I feel like you need to like kind of like peek out. What's something new or that I can explore or try? Try it once. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, great. But I feel like I got to start peeking out and just kind of like building new connections and doing something different. And I just feel like it's time to peak. I like it. I loved how they sent that to me. I had a rabbit message yesterday and today. What the spirit feel from the rabbit that was on my deck? Mandy, did you look it up? Have a look up. Um, Mandy, I'm curious. I'm sitting down to sip my tea here. I'm curious, Mandy, if you had any digestive issues because that was one thing that kind of came up for me is my digestive system. So have you been struggling with food digestion or not wanting to eat or appetite, anything to do with food? I feel like a part of this message is a little bit diet related. And I get it, we can all clean up our diet, but I feel it's a bit more than that. So I'm just curious, Mandy, drop me a comment here. I just feel like it's like digestion, cleaning up your diet, some more greens. I feel it, a piece of that, and also read it up in the animal and spirit animal guide, or you can just look them up yourselves too. Spirit rabbit meeting. Rachel, oh man, I feel that really struggling with connection with my guides lately. My ADHD is all over the place and it's blocking them off. Okay, so Rachel, thank you for your comment and for acknowledging Miranda there as well. Again, with the spirit guides, we and remember too, it's not always easy and we don't always receive the message. So yes, they're there. Yes, they're helping. Yes, they're guiding. And yes, we do struggle sometimes with feeling them, hearing them, understanding them. What does this mean? I've had that, like, what are you trying to tell me here? And it's taken me a while to figure it out sometimes. I remind myself that I'm learning. I remind myself that I'm struggling. I allow myself to have that struggle. And sometimes, even for me, I will say, today is a really tough day and I'm not hearing you. I know that you're with me. I know that you're guiding me and please continue to help me. And I don't force it. I don't force it. And if you're having moments where you're overthinking or if ADHD is coming up, embrace that too. Okay, today we're really hard on ourselves. We're also remember when we're okay, and happens to me a lot. When spirit's about to teach us something new, we it feels different. So they're trying to teach us how to either with this, they might be teaching you how to connect with them differently. Maybe it's time to just kind of you know s- go for a walk and talk to them, go for a drive in your vehicle and talk to them. Try changing it up a little bit, and also just simply acknowledge, okay, I'm overthinking today, or my ADHD is in the way, but I know that they're here. I know that they're here. I hope that makes sense. Try not to overthink it too much. Try not to, and sometimes we need to kind of say, okay, not feeling it today. I know you're here. Thank you very much, you guys. I'll sit still again tonight. And it can be any which way. You can dance in your kitchen with your angels and guides. Like try changing it up a little bit. Try having a bit more fun. The spirit dimensions are not serious. They're not serious at all. We don't have to take a serious way in. So if meditation's not working, try dancing. Try having fun. I know this is going to sound really funny, but one time I literally cut two pieces of pie, one for me, one for my spirit guides, and I just sat there with a piece of pie and a cup of tea, and I just talked to them. I just left their pie sitting there, and I just talked to them. And it doesn't have to be um a return, no having all the answers back and having all. Quite often, it's the trust that they're trying to teach us, and sometimes we don't hear them. Right, and it's that simple. We're just not hearing them. I don't like the word blocked because I don't feel that we're blocking them. Because if you're setting an intention and wanting to hear from them, you're not blocked. You're just try changing the word I'm learning. Try changing the blocked word to I'm learning. Okay, I'm learning. What am I learning? They're teaching me something today, right? Usually it's trust. 99% of it, quite often it's trust. River, good morning. Does Spirit have anything to say about my sister-in-law's passport? She applied for it in January and still hasn't received it for her, or her documents. I don't, River, I don't feel worried. It feels more system related. Like I feel like, paperwork and things like that pile up, and that's how it feels. I don't feel worried. Um, January, February, March. We're in April, so I guess it depends on when in January she applied. I what you can do is you can put some energy and push it forward. I'm gonna push this passport forward. I don't have a worried feeling, River. I just feel like it's system related. So try sending energy to push it forward. I do that quite often. Does it always work? No. Sometimes because it has nothing to do with spirit, it's the system. But you can send light to it to push it forward. I feel a week and a half ish. You'll have to check back in with me. Time can be hard to feel, and too, but I don't feel it's far. Like I don't feel like it's an issue. I don't feel it's far. I don't feel panicked. So keep us posted on how that works out. Hi, Lana. Good morning. Any current messages from my spirit team or guide? Says Jasmine. Jasmine, have you been tensing your neck or shoulders? As I was sitting there, I started to feel like I needed a massage. I just feel like I just feel like I've got to loosen up a little bit. I just feel like I've got to, try with the overthinking and the vibration of worry. Try to loosen it up a little bit. Because I feel like it's like relax and chill, relax and settle, relax. And sometimes we struggle with that as humans. I hear you. I hear you. I feel like I've got to kind of like ease it a little bit, slow my road a little bit, take a few minutes and just breathe. So, Jasmine, I don't know if you kind of like are like kind of like higher with the overthinking lately or stuck to the ceiling. I feel like I've got to like kind of like maybe go for a massage, but I feel like I've got to like I'm just gonna loosey goosey. I'm just gonna loosey goosey. That's what they're saying to me, and I'm trying not to laugh my head off. Painted Greg, good morning. Does Spirit have any messages for me? I'm going through a slightly stressful period. Also, did someone take something from me recently, or did I misplace those things? All right, Painted Gray. Let me see if I can chisel this apart a little bit. Okay, so Painted Gray. I feel like I also have to acknowledge. Okay, I'm just gonna back up. So they're showing me because they just kind of showed me something I have to go back to. So I feel like I have to go back to the balance scale. So when things get out of balance, with stress and physical world stuff, and we're all there. I mean, it's been stressful. It's been a stressful vibe for a bit. I feel like I just got to slightly balance it a little bit. I do feel like it's going to work out. I do feel like it's going to soften for you. But I feel like I've got to balance that a little bit. Acknowledge that things are, I'm working through this stressful moment best that I can. And that little bit of balancing that self talk a little bit. I'm not convinced that something was stolen. So when something is stolen, I feel it has a very distinct heaviness to me because it's an extreme betrayal to have somebody steal. I'm not convinced that it was stolen, misplaced. Um, I'm leaning more into that. I don't feel that heavy that I normally feel with stolen. Um, Yeah, I can't. I had to pause there and just peek my head back into that. I don't feel it. I just don't feel that it's stolen. Try balancing a little bit. Try, and, how it got. You guys know how I feel about toxic positivity. You can't deny what we're going through. You can use some tools to help you navigate through it. I just feel like I've got to lean in there. Yep, it's stressful. What can I control if anything in this stressful? Reaching out for support. Connecting with your community. Breathing a little bit, like grounding yourself a little bit. I just feel like I've got to shift that back into balance. And I don't feel terrible Painted Gray. Like I feel like there's like a settling down a little bit that's, just almost right in front of me. Um, 1 second here. Okay, Shy. Yeah, the cat has been giving me head bumps a lot. Laura, good morning. Wondering if Spirit has any messages on a house move for me, near or far for timing. I don't feel it near, Laura. Moving house can also, it also has a pinch of choice and free will in it. So it can be, it can be really hard to, to 100% feel into this, because we do have choice and free will, right? There's that we can decide I'm going to wait another 3 months, and that's okay. I don't feel a big pressure there. I don't feel pressured, like I'm under pressure to move. So I feel like I need to say, taking your time and finding, the right place is a good thing. I don't feel pressure. I feel kind of easy breezy with it. I don't feel it's long though. I don't feel like it's a couple years or anything like that. Um but I also feel, Laura, I feel like I need to expands. I'm just having a listen. I feel like expanding all possibilities. So, taking a look at the map, like Google Map on and just kind of like, I feel like I need to daydream a little bit more about it. I think I might want to live here. Let's take a look at this. I'm on, maybe nah, that didn't work out. I feel like I've got to kind of like daydream it. In one way that kind of helps with the manifestation, and I also feel like I need to kind of just expand my thoughts. You don't have to go anywhere that you don't want to go, but just kind of get a little bit more expansive with your thoughts. But I don't feel like it's really, really soon. Like, I don't feel you moving in the next couple weeks or couple months. But I also don't feel like it's a couple years. And I feel like you've got a lot of choice and free will around it, because I don't feel this must move, if that makes sense there. Um, and I just want to kind of touch base on a few things. Choice and free will, no matter what a reader tells you, we have choice and free will, and that is your superpower, right? So we do have choice and free will in a lot of that. And a lot of questions, like, should, and I'm happy to feel into them. It's not that I'm not happy to feel into them, because I am happy to feel into them. But a lot of questions have choice and free will. Right. So it's like questions like, am I going to meet someone? That can go either way. If I say yes, but you're not willing to leave your house to go out and meet new people or try new things, you're probably not going to meet anyone. So we have our own personal power as well. So I always say, take a look at how it feels to you, and take a look at the choice and free will piece, and what can you do to participate in changing that. Spirit has said that to me for my own stuff time and time and time and time and time again. Well, you're not necessarily, out there, doing, bringing that forward yourself either. Like, I mean, we can't bring you Mr. or Mrs. Perfect on your doorstep. Like, you got to go out, right? Or you want something new, you've got to start exploring it and taking the exploring energy, right? And great if it comes, great if it doesn't. That's kind of how I've learned to kind of like lean into things that I do have choice and free will, or that I can add energy to. We can add energy to things, right? We can raise our desire for it, and that does help. And I always have to say, you guys, for my highest good. For my highest good. So I'll just use Laura for an example. I'm looking to move houses. Can you guide me for my highest good? The house for my highest good. Right? I always add that. If that resonates with you, please pick it up. Okay, Shannon, any messages from Spirit dealing with financial pressures, kids' tryouts? Oh, the tryouts, the energy of the tryouts. Oh, Shannon, I feel that. Okay, so, um, Shannon, I know you know this. Financial pressures are on most of us. The cost of things. It's been going up at a rapid rate. We're all struggling with that. I really focus on, with financial stuff, I really focus on the manifesting. I also focus on my awareness, and I'm sure you do this. I'm just sharing what I do. I also focus on my awareness on where I can kind of shift things a little bit, because I've noticed this is a me thing. Several years ago, I noticed, just by simply documenting and looking at bank records, I noticed some of the things where I could have like kept on to my abundance. It didn't necessarily have to go there. I'm just saying, have a peek. And I think I'm constantly manifesting. I constantly use my gratitude bowl. I'm constantly asking. I'm like, and it's am also taking control of my own part in it, right? So there's that. Tryouts. If you're in tryouts, that's with that's a rep level of sports, and it's costly. So I feel you on that immensely. Um, Okay, so I want to tap into your kids, Shannon, if that's okay. Because the feeling, and it's funny that you're talking about this because I was at a pre-tryout last night doing some mindfulness in sports, with some AAA boys, and kind of help grounding them for their tryout. So the a pre-tryout is like a skate and a scrimmage and drills before they actually try out. And their energy was quite all over the map. It's a lot of pressure. So what I would suggest, Shannon, is getting your kids to whatever sport that they're playing with, get them to connect to their confidence, right? And try and grow that. If they're hockey players, what I do with the mindfulness in sports is I really get them to connect with their skates and I get them to connect with the ice, and I get them to just kind of like breathe, pause, feel their skates, feel their feet in their skates, and just kind of get them to connect that way rather than connect with what if I don't make it. Same thing if it's a baseball tryout, connecting with the bat, feeling their own personal power, coming into their personal abilities, and less about everybody else. Don't worry about mind your business on how everybody else is doing. Watch the comparison energy there. Just kind of get them to really focus on themselves and to tap into their ability from the energy perspective. Feel how good you are no matter the outcome of this tryout. Feel that. No matter, forget about making it or not making it. Come home to how you feel, the effort you're putting in, all the training you've done. Get them to feel that it's powerhouse. The other thing, Shannon, that you can do, and this will work either boy or girl, no matter the gender here, is get them to, and it depends on the age too. The older kids may wrinkle their nose up at you, but you can always change it. Get them to feel their own superhero within. So get them to do like a Superman pose at the ice or on the ball diamond. Get them to feel that, or their own a Superwoman pose, or their own whatever they resonate as superpower. Get them to get them to pose it. Even if you do it, and if they don't want to do it at the diamond or at the field or on the ice, that's okay. Do it before. Get them to feel that their superpower and how it just honors the effort regardless of the outcome. It honors their skill regardless of the outcome, right? Just get them to do that Superman. I know it's funny. It's you know what, and they may, depending on the age, the older kids may. My older kids will do that, and I'll be like, I want you to try it. Whatever superpower you feel that resonates with you, it might, it doesn't. It can be anything that they resonate with. It doesn't have to be, like Spider-Man or Wonder Woman or anything like that. But whatever they resonate as a superpower, get them to feel that energy. Get them to feel it, right? Okay. I could talk forever on that topic. I love it so much with kids and tryouts and mindfulness and sports. It's huge, right? We don't put enough awareness or energy into how these kids feel when they're trying out or performing. Like we doesn't even cross a lot of coaches or parents' minds with the mindfulness part of it. It can impact their journey for many years with the lack of or the not good enough, and they have those thoughts when they're trying out. It's natural to compare, right? So being able to work through that. Hope that helped you there, Miss Shannon. Uh, Jasmine, why do my rose quartz turn white? Just wondering. So crystals will often break or change color when they've done their job. So rose quartz, if you're using it for unconditional love, and I would also check, Jasmine, that if it was an authentic rose quartz. Sometimes the ones that aren't authentic will fade, but even authentic crystals will fade when they've done their job. I would also try recharging it. That may help, but it may have just simply done its job. You may have gotten the unconditional love or support that you've needed, and quite often even crystals are trying to teach us something. Crystals are also trying to teach us about our own power, right? So, I mean, there are crystals that I resonated with 5 or 10 years ago, that I couldn't go without, but now I've learned from them. So, with unconditional love, which is usually the main quality of a rose quartz, you may have fulfilled that. You may have gotten that understanding. Unconditional love is here for me always. Unconditional love for myself. Unconditional, and you may even find that you don't need certain crystals anymore, right? And you can come back to them, and you can always just still like them and love them. But sometimes we've learned what that crystal was trying to teach us. I used to have to wear it. I haven't in a very long time. I used to have to wear hematite all the time, like in large amounts of it in my pocket, in my palm, on my wrist. I used to need a lot of hematite to help keep me grounded. Hematite taught me how to, was part of the teacher, a part of teaching me that how I can ground naturally. I don't always need the hematite to ground me. And I've noticed I hardly ever reach for it when I ask my crystal table, what do I need today? I hardly need it. I've been pulled a lot lately to the Palo Santo. I've been wearing a lot of Palo Santo bracelets and needing that Palo Santo, kind of like in my pocket or in my work bag. And it's because the energy that a lot of people are feeling. I work with people who are really struggling. I needed a natural smudger. So I was like, okay. So I need that more right now. So just trust what you need. Crystals will also, people will say, why did my crystal break? It did its job. You're good now. It's letting you know you're good now. Resonates. I hope so. If not, that's okay too. Puck is very sensitive. I know exactly what you said happening to Doodle, but Puck came here when she was 3 or 4 months old, and up until that time, she was still with her mother. I still think she was weaned. Either mom didn't nurse her as long. I don't feel like she was. Perhaps it's her own energy that she wanted more, but I feel like she wasn't ready to be weaned. So mom could have ran out of milk shy, or she could have stopped weaning them sooner. Um, but that's what I feel with that. Mila, I have a question. What can we do to get one of our dog named Knox to stop digging? He constantly digs in her backyard, and we don't know how to get it to stop. Okay, so digging is behavioral, and animals have behavioral or addictions just like people. It's instinct. It's also instinct. Animals, do have their instincts, and sometimes it can be like an OCD, right? So they do have very similar, things that humans do. So, I'm not sure what you've tried yet, Mila, but I would try with the corrective behavior. As soon as you see him digging, he goes on a leash. Go out, get him, put him on a leash, clip the leash to your waist, and stay outside. So he associates that with a no, right? Positive reinforcement. Cookie. I like a cookie, please. When he stops digging, or when he like, I feel like he has like a bit of an OCD with it. Like he just dig, 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 dig. I feel it more behavioral and obsessive compulsiveness with it. So I would try the deterrent route with okay. Oh, and you may have to do it, and you know 50 times in a row. Like let him off the leash. If he goes back to digging, back on. Try and correct the behavior to break that I'll use the word obsession with digging, or the OCD of having to dig. See if you can shift that. I would also Mila, if it's possible, I'm not sure where you live, but if it's possible, where you could take him down to a beach to let him dig. Try and shift the behavior as to this is where you can dig, because it does bring him joy. So I wouldn't want to take it all away from him, because it does bring him joy. But teaching him as to where to dig or less digging to break, like I almost feel like I get in a cycle. Dig, 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 dig. So, but I feel like I want to give him opportunities to dig. So if you can take him to a beach where he can go and dig, or out to a trail or a dog park where he can have a moment to dig, because it does bring him joy. So I don't want to take away all his joy, but I hear you, can be damaging to the yard. So, trying to teach him where to dig and to not get into that obsessive. All right. Oh, guys, it's 9:07. Um, Salome. Oh my God, I feel your God sent this time. Bless your heart. I have a burning question in my mind with my PhD and smoothly. Am I also curious and worried about what comes after that? Any insights? Okay, so everything is always working out for you. Number one, I would write that down. Um, I do I have worries about what comes after? No, but you're not there yet. You're not there yet. Coming back to the power of now. Right now, I'm ending my PhD. And I want you to feel both energies in that. I want you to feel the excitement. I'm almost there. Oh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there, right? And really pre-celebrate the end of your PhD. Pre-celebrate. Dance every day between now and then. So I'm celebrating the upcoming of the end of my PhD. Also feel and appreciate yourself in how hard you worked. All of those versions of you working on your PhD, she was always doing her best, even when it was hard, even when I wanted to back out. She was always doing her best. Acknowledge that. And bring your focus back to what is still left to do to finish a PhD. I feel you have a smooth landing. Like I can see like landing gear. And when you think landing gear, you know how we kind of like we land and it's kind of like a little bit of a boat and it's smooth. I feel you're in for smooth sailing. I really do. Bring it back though to the power of now. Enjoy the end of the PhD. Over here will all sort itself out. I feel like the all the what ifs and stuff and all the energy, don't quite pull that in. I'm gonna finish the PhD first. I feel like opportunities there are knocking. So I wouldn't worry about that at least right now, because and you can shift that a little bit. You can take a look at available jobs, you can take a look and you see what's out there, but removing the vibration of worry, removing the what if word or but word. Like don't yeah, I'm almost done. Yeah, but there's no, just kind of like I am going to find work. I'm going to figure it out. It's all working out for me. I'm finishing my PhD. I'm going to have a look at possibilities, but I'm not going to add the vibration of worry to it. I'm going to add the vibration of really enjoying right now. We don't salivate and frolic in the moment of how amazing things are, even the little things. It doesn't have to be a big thing like completing a PhD. It can be the little things, like something as simple as I managed to drink my 1 liter of water today. We don't celebrate enough. We don't acknowledge enough. And what happens is, and the outside world, the physical world does participate in that. The focus becomes only with what's not done yet, only with what I haven't completed yet, only what I have, what more than non-success is, right? We focus there, but I have, but come back into those moments of acknowledgement. It will really help that uncertainty vibe. You will get there one step at a time, and enjoy every step at a time, even the small steps. And I know it may sound funny, and it may will feel funny in the beginning, but try it over the weekend. Try acknowledging, yay, I ate something healthy today, and really celebrating it. You can do it in your mind, you can say it out loud, you can physically dance, but really try acknowledging the small things. And you know what you're going to realize? All those small things, holy cow, they add up to, and when you add them up, there's like a big thing of positive and job well done, that you're actually doing really well. And because we always look at what's left to do or the negative as being the big thing. Just try playing with that energy for the weekend. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. It's not going to cost you anything. It's not going to be hurtful. Just feel all the positive things, all the little things, and watch how they add up. And then you're going to say, you know what, things are going better for me than what I think. Right? It's true. We think about it. We're always focused, not always, but we spend a lot of time focused on what's not right, what's not perfect, what I haven't done yet, what's left to do, what ifs, wait, the yeah buts. Yeah, but everything. Yeah, but, right? Just watch how it feels for a weekend. There's a challenge. Right? Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Thank you, Lana. Yes, about that trust. Little steps for me getting there. Okay. Love you, Lana, so much. I love you too, Jasmine. I love you all. Galaxy Gal. I love that handle. I recently received a helpful and very minor mental health diagnosis. Does Spirit have any advice for my healing journey? Fairly minor mental health diagnosis. All right. So, Galaxy Gal, I need to sip my tea. I want you to know that you're not alone. And we all have mental health moments. We all have moments where we struggle with our mental health. So I want you to know that you're not alone. So I'm gonna, and I just want to kind of just hear me out. Take what resonates, Galaxy Gal. Okay, if you're still here. The diagnosis is not a label; it's an answer. Okay. The minor mental health diagnosis is giving you an opportunity to work through healing. So I don't want you to feel the shame of it. When we get a diagnosis, it becomes a label that we attach to ourselves, and sometimes we lean into shame. It's guiding you. It's guiding you to finding, and I love how you worded it. Any advice on my healing journey? Your healing journey, Galaxy Gal, make it your own. Listen to, get a lot of suggestions, but go with what resonates with you, and start with small steps and unless you're ready to take the big steps right away. But start with the small steps if that's where you're comfortable. I also feel Galaxy Gal. I love that Galaxy Gal. I love that. Sorry, I'm gonna say that like 10 times today. Um, I also feel that I need to acknowledge the medical world also working hand in hand with the holistic and spiritual world. We can work together on this, right? So, and trusting your gut with the medical world and allowing and keeping that in balance is important. I think it's really important that we balance both. Um, I feel and you can give me a little bit of validation if you would like. If not, that's okay. I feel like you haven't had a lot of opportunity to speak your truth. Because as I'm talking, I can feel my throat chakra kind of like. I feel like you haven't had a chance to express your truth, and you've got some things that you've been holding in that perhaps nobody knows about that you haven't shared, right? So I think that talking it through either to yourself with your spirit guides, writing a letter and journaling, I feel like the beginning steps of letting go and your feelings that you have been kind of like doing this with. I feel like they need time to come out. Like I really feel like I need to express that. I also feel like there's a whole new version of you that she's peaking. And I think you felt her peaking. I think there's more to me. I think there's more to life. I think there's more support. And I feel like I gotta say embrace that and embrace those feelings because you're right. There is more. There is more. There is so much more. I also feel like I need to say to you, Galaxy Gal, that you are going to do amazing with your healing. I feel you very open. I feel you very excited. I feel like you want to taste different things. And I feel like that is a great way of navigating through your healing journey is what resonates with you. So start trying different things. If it feels good and you're loving it, great. Also the healer within. Yes, there are many healers that can help and guide you. And that's what the role of the healer. The healer doesn't do it like other people as healers. They don't do it for you. They guide you and hold your hand and help you. So really tapping into who you are because you have the power to heal yourself with support and with guidance and with energy work. Yes, but remember that it's you. I've seen people not have a good understanding of that. And they will say to me, Lana, I've seen all these healers and nobody can remove the energy. And I'll say to someone, had they taught you how to be involved in healing yourself? And they'll look at me like, what are you talking about? And you've got to participate in it too. So it's got to come from you. We have the healing energy here. So if working with a mentor or working with healers, resonate with you, great. Just make sure that they're also teaching you how to heal yourselves, right? So I really feel that's really important. That healers, and if you're a healer and you're listening to this, you know please make sure you're teaching your clients that they can heal themselves with your guidance. You're walking beside them and opening the doorways. They got to do their own healing work. Okay. um I also feel, Galaxy Gal, I feel like you wobble with trusting people, and that's okay. It's okay, to wobble with trusting people. Finding community like finding a community that can support you, that understands you, that can hold space for you, that you can sit and talk to, like and I'm not sure where you're from, Galaxy Gal, but finding community is really important. And that community, should be forward momentum. How can we help each other move forward? Because and that's so important because we feel alone quite often on our healing journey, and sometimes we need to be alone on our healing journey, but we got to make sure that we're balancing that with supportive people that can walk beside us, not do our work for us, but walk beside us. And there is such an empowering feeling to know that people care, to know that you're not alone, to know that other people have had to do their healing work. We all have to do our healing work. We came here to learn, and that learning has been difficult, and it's caused scars, it's caused bumps, it's caused bruises, it's caused wounds, and it helps to know that we're not alone. So, support and community for people to walk beside you, not to try and control you. So I keep coming into that, feel that taking control and taking your power back. So I'm not quite sure, Galaxy, if that's because you've been controlled a lot or told what to do a lot. Like I just feel like I really need to hold that space for you of you have your power. You will figure it out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Get playful with it. Get playful with it. Nature is, one of the most loving spaces that you can connect to for healing. The animals, the birds, the ground, the sky. It is there for us to to lovingly embrace ourselves in. So I would try a little bit of that. Maybe some forest frolicking or some forest sound bathing may resonate with you. I just and your willingness to let go and heal is so huge, and I'm very proud of you. Amen. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to get going soon. PhD is a big deal. Congratulations. Absolutely. The sun is shining, says Mandy. For some vitamin D, walks in nature, breathing in fresh air, letting go of winter crap. Have a beautiful day. I love that. Brad. There's Brad. Hope you're well, dear Lana. Thank you, honey. I hope you're well too. Hoping to hear from my dad, especially now that we are ready to start Passover. So hard without him. Um, Brad, so I know you have been on the channel for a bit. You've probably heard me say this before. Um, Dad's not gone. And to him, and he's like, can you just let him know that I haven't gone anywhere? So spirit has a very different outlook than what we have here in the physical world. To us, they're gone. To them, they are not. So, it's like I've had many conversations where it's like, man, we don't even miss you. We're here. Like even with my own dead focus, like we're here. So feeling that connection, and I say to, and when I argue with spirit, I'm like, well, with humans, with us that are still here, guys, we feel the absence. It's not the same, and we learn to cultivate a different relationship. And Brad, you've been doing that. You've been feeling your dad. You've been connecting with your dad, and you're feeling that physical lack of, but he wants you to know that he is here through Passover. And I feel like I need to say, I don't know why I feel like I need to rock. Is there a glider chair, Brad, or a rocking chair at home? I feel like I'm sitting in a glider or a rocker or a chair that does this. Is that when I'm channeling Dad? That's what he's doing. I just feel like I'm just gliding away, gliding away. Um, he's very much a part of it. They don't miss anything, and it's hard for us to fully understand that and fully connect. Brad, you and Mom are so loved, and he's there and he's supporting, and it's different, and he knows how loved he is. He's like, I know how much I'm loved. I also feel like I need to say, Brad, Dad is so proud of all that you are doing. So I don't know if you're in charge of everything or if you've been looking after everything, or if he's just so proud of everything that you've been doing. It's like you've taken like his strength and blended it with yours, and you're feeling him that way. That was really well said. Thank you. Thank you. You're blending his strength with your own. So I love that. Maybe I'll be lucky to meet a partner this year. Brad, I want to kind of, you do so deserve. It's not luck. It's you are so worthy of meeting that special someone. And I think that with all the growth that you've been doing, it almost feels like you've been preparing. And I always say trust the timelines. I mean, I can't always explain why it takes so long, but I just feel like all that you're gonna have an aha moment when you meet that special someone. It's like, oh, okay. I had to be this version of myself, and you had to be this version of yourself. I just feel like you're gonna have an aha moment with, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. Okay, I hope it makes sense there. All right, you guys. Salome, thank you so much. I needed to hear that. And thank you, everyone. Your messages really touched my heart. You're very welcome, darling, and you are always loved here. Okay, guys, I am well over time. I'm well over time, and I love it. Shirley Kadash, Ilana would love a message from my husband, please. Shirley, I just had him hold your hand. Like I just literally, I felt like I was holding your hand. And he wants you to know that he's always holding your hand. I'm always holding your hand. Like and I feel like that, like so close. Like I just feel. So my question, Shirley, is: have you felt him really? Like have you felt that closeness? I just feel so close. I'm always so close. I'm always so close. Thank you for your honesty, Lana. So many healers say not to heal. So many healers say not to heal yourself just so they can make money. I appreciate your honesty there, Heavenly. And like all I'm gonna say this right from my heart space. There are good doctors and bad doctors. There are, and there are people that are still learning their own craft with healing. There are people that are still learning, and perhaps they don't have the knowledge yet, and they're learning. And like there are people that do not always hold integrity first, right? Trust your intuition with that. I tell people that all the time. Research your readers, research your healers, and feel it should feel very authentic, right? Healers and readers, it should have a very natural healing. Yes, yes, this is their occupation too. I have no problems with readers and healers charging, but it should also have a certain feeling, and you need to stand up and heal yourself too. Readers are guides, healers are guides. They guide you through it. We're sharing knowledge. No reader or healer has a power over you that only they can do it. We're all healers, and we're also all psychic, by the way. And I don't like the word psychic, but we're all intuitive. We all have intuitions. We all have a connection to the spirit dimensions. Some of us have just really invested the time and the energy in developing it. I say to people all the time, all of you guys here can do what I do. I have spent so much time and building my relationship with spirit. I dedicated a big chunk of my life to it. Right? It's just the path that I took. All of you can develop your own relationship at whatever level that you want. Right? Okay. I'm really having a good time talking to you guys. God, you are so special. We love you, and I love all of you too. I love all of you too. Every single one of you. My bunny on the deck just came back. Not a rocker, but a special chair he loves. Okay. Definitely a chair. I don't know why I want to rock in it, but maybe it's the comfort. Maybe it's just the comfort. All right, you guys, what do we need to know for the weekend? I love you too, Wes. And I know, guys, there's several questions that I didn't get to. I do my best. Spirit does their best. 370. You're working in perfect partnership with Source Energy and the Ascended Masters. Continue to listen and follow your inner guidance. Oh, I love that. As this is the best path for you to take. So we had a lot of people ask questions about connecting with angels and guides and all of that. You are working in perfect partnership. We talked about partnerships. I love that. So with source energy, so whatever the word source energy, means to you, whether it be God, Buddha, Jesus, angels and guides, they're working with us. Listen closely and follow your inner guidance. Right? Your spirit guides, will connect with you with your intuition, your how it feels. Let's do another one. I'm really pushing time. I don't want to end the live. Okay. 228. Trust that new opportunities are answers to your prayers. Walk through the doors that are opening for you and accept offers of help. What do we need to hear? Was the instructions. My apologies. Maybe you guys aren't focused. Cardinal. Oh, I love the cardinal. Someone needs your compassionate and loving attention and has flagged you down to get it. Stop right where you are, observe your surroundings, and notice the sensations in your body. This is a creative time one where it's best to heed your intuitive guidance as to how to express this creativity. Add color to your life, in your home, in your environment, your yard, and in all choices of clothing. This is a good time to explore any religion or spiritual connections you grew up in, with eyes and heart open for a fresh look. All right, you guys, as always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, a spirit guided weekend, and I'll see you Monday for the energy update. Okay? Take care. Much love.